Hey, welcome to the Godspeed Garage. In this video, I'm going to show you a cheap and easy way to make your own LS priming machine. Now before we start, make sure you check out all the stuff in the description because I'm going to put some timestamps down there. If you are ready just to jump to the oil priming part, go ahead and click on that one down there. If you want to watch how I build this priming machine, stay where you are. So this LS priming apparatus thing is dirt cheap, talking like less than 30 bucks. The biggest expense you're gonna need is a weed sprayer. I opted for this one from my local Ace hardware store because they had a sale and I had a coupon, and I think I got it for right around $15, somewhere in there. But you wanna make sure that you use one that you can see the fluid in, because as we're pumping oil into the engine, if you run out of oil, then you're pumping air back into your engine. And the whole purpose of this is to get all the air out of the engine and get oil everywhere it needs to go. And now to hook it up to the engine, there's a port on the driver's side at the front. And so to hook up to that port, you need an adapter. And this is an M16 by 1.5 to 1/8 inch National Pipe Thread female adapter. And then you'll need an 1/8 inch NPT male fitting with a 1/4 inch hose barb on the other end. And with this weed sprayer, you can pump it and pressurize it that way. You can also drill a hole and put the SCHRADER valve into it, which you can find at any bike shop or pretty cheap online. You could also hook up a air inlet port with a regulator on there, then attach the air hose to the regulator and regulate it down to 20 PSI. That's a lot more expense though, that's a bit more fittings if you wanted to go that route. I'm gonna go the cheap route and go with the SCHRADER valve and use a tire inflator, which everybody probably has around your house. If not, go get one because you'll use it. And you'll also need some 1/4 inch ID hose. You wanna get the clear hose, that way you can watch the oil as it goes into your engine to make sure it's oil and not air. You can check for debris, all that stuff. And then to attach to the hose that goes into the pickup tube down inside the tank, you'll need a little 1/4 inch coupler, BARB coupler, BARB thing. I got a lot of these parts at my local Ace hardware, but you can find them on Amazon. I'll put a list of parts down in the description, so make sure you check that out as well. So the first thing we'll need to do is disassemble this pickup tube gun assembly for the weed sprayer. And on the end of the pickup tube, there's this little filter deal right here. I think oil can get through that, but just for the halibut, I'm gonna take this little filter thing off of here. That way you've got an open tube to suck some oil up in there. And then on this particular weed sprayer, this doesn't come off very easily. So I'm going to opt for just snipping the black hose and using that coupler to connect my clear hose to. Make sure we get this little nut piece over here. Now we can get our hose barb. A little spit lube, and use a ballpoint pen to kind of open up the end of this a little bit more to get that coupler in there. Should be able just to fish it on there. Come on, baby. Okay. So there you go. That's good there. Just like that. Well, as long as you get up close to the middle here, you're good. All right, so now feed this guy down into here. Make sure that's good and on there, just like that. And we'll take this other end here, connect it to our clear hose, just like that. There you go, ba-boom, ba-boom. Take our other end, and this will go on to our adapter, just like that. Now we need to locate and find a spot where we can put our SCHRADER valve. So I can either put it directly in the side. I kind of want it closer to the top though, so maybe I'll find a good flat spot right about there, opposite of where the hose is. So maybe right there. Does that look good? I think that looks good. Right there, probably right there. Yep, right there, perfect. So now if we look at where the SCHRADER valve will go through, it's slightly over 1/2 inch, which that reading is actually closer to 9/16, maybe slightly bigger than 9/16. We want this to be tight, so I'm gonna drill it to 1/2 inch, and if I need to go more, I can go more from there. right, that actually popped in there pretty good. So 1/2 inch was the trick. And now the next step is we're gonna hook this up to the engine on that port on the driver's side, and then we'll start pumping some oil. So this is gonna take anywhere from 2 up to maybe 4 quarts. My sprayer here holds a gallon. I'm just gonna fill this thing up, and I can always dump excess oil out of my sprayer if I need to. Okay, there's 4 quarts. So let's hook it up to the engine. This port right here at the front on the driver's side is where we're gonna tap into. And that's gonna tap into not only the front of the engine where the oil pump is, but also down this long vein down the side of the engine block to the oil filter. I also already filled the oil filter with oil before I screwed it on there. That way it's just less air to have to move through things. So now we'll install our adapter, and this has a washer on it that seals it, but just for added security, I am gonna add some Teflon tape to it. Just get it snug. So I'm gonna remove the hose from this hose barb, and again, I'm gonna put some Teflon tape on the end of this so it doesn't leak. We'll snug this up with a flare wrench because it is brass and it could strip if you use a regular one. Just snug. And then we'll reattach our hose to the hose barb, just like so. So you're gonna wanna make sure that you take all your spark plugs out, because in order to get the oil to flow everywhere, we gotta rotate the engine. And you'll also need to take your valve covers off, because we're looking for oil up here at these push rods on the rockers. Some guys I've seen have also made an adapter to put a gauge where that oil pressure sensor is, so you can monitor the oil pressure in the engine. I'm just gonna use my air chuck here because this has a thing that'll tell me when it's about 20 PSI. 20, I might go 25, anywhere between 20 and 30. So let's hook it up and let's pump some air through the system. So you can see the oil flowing in through the hose. The basic idea is you're pushing oil through all of the inside galleys and all the little oiler inlet things for your camshaft, for your lifters, up through the push rods. It takes a long time for all those things to get oiled. So as you're spinning the engine, it's working all the oil into all these places, and the lifters and the push rods get oiled at different points along the cranking rotation. So what I did was put a little mark on my pulley here, and then as you crank it over a few times, you want to stop at a different point and let it sit for a few minutes, and then rotate it over a few times and stop it at a different point. Let it sit, rotate it, stop, let it sit, rinse and repeat. We're starting to see oil come up on a couple of these push rods. We got to keep going until they all show signs of oil. We got one on the passenger side now back here, but none on the rest of them, and still only 2 on the driver's side, so we'll keep going. And I hear some gurgling, so it's working the air out like it should. Hurry up and wait. Smile and drink coffee. So it took a little while, and in the meantime it got cold out here. But as you can see, there's oil flowing to all of these push rods. So now we know that our engine is primed and ready to go. So when we turn it over, we should have pretty decent oil pressure. Well, that's gonna do it for now. Hope this helped you out. If it did, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like and subscribe down there, and hit the social medias down here. Get yourself a t-shirt over here, and I'll see you on the next one.